If you're British and you're watching this, prepare. You will cringe your soul out. Your spirit will lift up, cringing. Soul gets out, and then you look down and see your body. But the reason why I have to do this is because a lot of people that do videos, and they are in England, are not going to say it because they're scaredy cats. They're scared. I'm not scared. So I'm going to call out the bullshit that people in your country and in your government specifically are pulling against you, because I've got your back, my patriot friends. Look at this. British Muslims are more loyal to UK than general public. New poll reveals. First and foremost, when you use UK, meaning United Kingdom, you need a definitive article. The UK. Yesterday I went to UK is not English. Yesterday I went to the UK. Let's see how they defend this with logic and reason. UK's Muslims are also more pro-democracy than wider population. The Muslims. Pro-democracy. Oh my gosh, what's going on in England? This is not the England I used to know. Define loyal, thank you. New pollings has revealed the British Muslims are more pro-democracy than the public at large and overwhelmingly feel they belong to the UK. Oh, the latter I do believe. Absolutely. It's the former that I'm a little skeptical about, all things considered. The findings cast doubt on widespread claims by politicians from across different parties that many British Muslims are unintegrated and oppose British values. Well, considering the fact you're completely removing said British values, you are demonizing them. You're telling us Anglo-Saxons didn't exist, the English language doesn't exist. Since you keep doing that, I mean, those British values must not be that compatible if all you do is trying to delete them for the sake of... The nationally representative survey of Muslims was commissioned by the Transatlantic Concordia Forum, think tank, in October 2025 and conducted by Opinium. It finds that 80% of British Muslims support democracy as, open quote, the best system of government, close quotes, compared with 71% of the general population. It's not, in my opinion, that 70% of the general British public thinks democracy as a concept is bad in the sense that they would want full monarchy back, or they'd be like, how about we make a freaking theocracy, or maybe it's like they're like, no, you know what we need? We need a totalitarian regime. That's what we need. No, it's just that they don't like what you've done with the democratic power when you attack them constantly. This is the thing with these kind of worthless surveys, that they lack any context upon which people may be a little, disillusioned. They kind of like, I don't know about this democratic system here, the way you guys, I mean, a lot of people are not happy with Labour right now. Can we say that? Does that mean that they are anti-democratic or anti-republic or anti-constitutional referendum? No, I don't think that that's what it means. It means that when you attack people constantly and their heritage and their history and their culture, and they demonize anything and you decolonize the curriculum and you say why people don't exist, but you do exist when we want to blame you for everything. When you do that and you say either that Shakespeare was a black woman or that Shakespeare was a white supremacist, you got to decide on that one, by the way. When that's what you do constant, then you do your little survey. It also finds that 94% of British Muslims support, open quotes, let me see this one, equal treatment under the law for all faiths and none, close quotes, compared with 80% of the general population. All right, let's take this at face value for the sake of discussion. If it's true that 94% of our beloved Muslims immigrants support equal treatment under the law for all faith, then why aren't you doing what they ask and treat Christianophobia the same way as you treat Islamophobia, would be my question for the people that push this nonsense. Plus, what does it matter what people say? People say is one thing, doesn't always follow that that's what they actually think. There is also that, but I guess that's too deep for people writing these kind of articles. The polling suggests high levels of integration, with 93% of Muslims reporting they feel they belong to the UK. Once again, what they feel is irrelevant. Are they actually integrating with the society? Or are they still in a situation when they are second generation and they don't speak English? I mean, there are a lot of British-born Muslims, but they were born in England. They speak English natively, in fact. That is a thing. But are they integrated to British values? Or are they still thinking Sharia law is awesome and women should cover their faces? Because that's not being integrated. They should dress up the Western way if they're being integrated. I'm not pointing the finger, I'm just making logical sense. Moreover, if some of these, 93% is a very high number, but even if some of these still think, oh, we're going to replace you, which is exactly, but before anyone tells me, are you pushing the great replacement theory? Not the Muslims are pushing it, because I've seen with my own eyes interviews of the radical, crazy Islamists, the ones that actually you go and interview and they tell you, oh yeah, we'll replace you because we have 8 children per family while you guys don't even reproduce. So by 20 years, we will be in power. They do say that. So whatever you can tell me that you don't believe in the great replacement theory, but there are plenty of Muslims that do. So you might want to go and tackle those because they are absolutely saying that. 7 in 10 Muslims said that they feel completely or mostly loyal to the UK. Does Starmer? Maybe I can see that. What happens if reformed Britain gets in power, though? Are they going to feel loyal to that? Whereas only half of the British public at large do so. Yeah, because they freaking hate Starmer. Starmer is hated in left-wing circles at this point. This is the level of general consensus in the UK, and please correct me if I'm wrong. But what I was looking is that the overall general approval of this guy was so low that they freaking hate him, even in the left wing. Even in the center, on the right, on the left, on the up, on the down, they freaking hate the guy. The study further undermines widespread claims that Muslims live parallel lives apart from the rest of the country. Well, to be honest, I wouldn't even... Okay, so when it comes to the Muslim immigrants, they hate us. I hate them back. They should leave. If you hate us, get away from here. Stay away from us. If it's like a little family of Muslims and even if they lived parallel lives in the sense that they have nothing against me, I have nothing against them then, and then in their privacy of their home, they want to speak Arabic and they want to pray to whatever the heck they pray, I don't care. That's fine that they live parallel lives. The Chinese do it, right? I guess Italian Americans, up to a certain extent, have their own Italian flair to their being Americans. The problem is that what you're trying to do with this kind of awful thing is that you're telling me that foreigners are more loyal to England than the English, then you can go f*** yourself. No one is more loyal to what England is than the English, because that's where they're from. And when we extend into Britain, then yeah, Scotland, who's going to be loyal to Scotland, the land, the culture, is the Scots. And in Ireland is the Irish. And in Italy is the Italians. And in America is the Americans. It's just how it is. They feel they belong here. And once again, your feelings don't matter when there is international law and border control in question. So, there's that. Because these people are the same. They write these things, and then they talk about free flow of people. Borderless society only for the West. The polling suggests high levels of integration, blah, blah, blah. The study further undermines widespread okay. 8 in 10 Muslims report frequent interaction with non-Muslims, at least weekly, with 38% saying they have personally or through family served in public service roles. Muslims are more supportive of equal legal way. Oh, wait, no way. Muslims are more supportive of equal legal rights for LGBTQ people, plus people, than the general public with 7. They're just manufacturing nonsense at this point. Now, this is a plain lie. With 70% saying they support them as compared with 66% of the population at large. Okay, look. I'm just going to say, if you're gay, stay away from any Muslim country. Don't believe this nonsense, because it happens, guys. It happens. It happens. People believe this nonsense, and they think that when they go to a Muslim majority country, right now you wouldn't go to Iran because it's being bombed, but if this happened 3 years ago, you believe this propaganda, then you go there and you think, I'm going to be accepted. I don't have to deal with like Southern Baptist in the Bible Belt. He was mean to me because I'm gay. So, but the article tells me that 70%, so many Muslims love and support LGBT, so I'm just going to go there. You're going to get beaten to a pulp. I don't want you to go through that. Stay home. Don't go. Just don't. Because, and I'm going to say this, even if you take, even if you take the worst possible, most close-minded Christian pastor towards being gay, it's nothing compared to what the worse than the Islamic religion has to offer when it comes to that. Because the pastor will say, some are nuts, by the way. Some of the stuff I've heard from some pastors are nuts. Like, I will defend my faith, right? So I'm not going to change my doctrine and my beliefs because it offends, I don't care. But I'm not going to be mean. I'm not going to be angry at you. I'm not going to treat you differently because we're all sinners as far as I'm concerned. So whatever. But I will treat you kindly because that's how I like to treat people. Majorities, minorities, this skin, this sexuality. I don't even care about your sexuality. I don't care. But I have heard people saying mean stuff. Yes, but you know what the Muslims are going to do when they are extremists? They're going to throw you off the ninth floor. And I don't want you to go through that. And this is why these kind of posts really upset me, because they don't care about you at a human level. 90% of Muslims say taking a stand against all forms of bigotry, including anti-Semitism, is important. My gosh, these people live in fantasy land. I swear, I'm so tired of this. Like at this point, there are some radical left-wing circles that all they do is, what's the truth? Okay, let me say the opposite. That's where we're getting. I know there is ignorance on the right. Trust me, I know. I am aware. But this is not even ignorance at this point. This is, what is the truth? Let me say the opposite. Knowingly. It's not a matter of ignorance. And when it comes to the word bigotry, by the way, and I'm just going to have to say it now. Okay. So if having any sort of criticism towards Islam is Islamophobia, which is a subcategory of bigotry, I've been told, then if you're a feminist and you think that women should be independent and empowered, don't you dare criticize Islam when they say that if you're a woman, not only you belong to the freaking kitchen, don't you show your freaking hair or I'll beat you. You can't say that because then you're a bigot. 74% of Muslims who live in Islam is broadly compatible with Western values. You know, this is not true. You know what? There are plenty of Islamic debaters and apologists. And what's funny, I really find it funny. I've seen like this debate between this Islam apologist and he actually debated Andrew Wilson. It was on matters of, I mean, Andrew Wilson is not a Christian apologist, but the way they framed in the thumbnail was not Andrew, but the way that the channel that hosted the interaction, they framed it like Christian versus Muslim. But once again, he will talk about Christianity, but he's not a Christian apologist. So it was more about actually arguing which is better for society, Islam or Christianity. That was the discussion. So it was at a societal level. Okay. What's funny is that I watched the entire show. Clearly, Andrew Wilson completely demolished him, but it doesn't matter because every time that this is Muslim apologist, every time that he was making points, you know what he was doing? He was dunking, he was attacking liberals. A lot of the stuff he said was the importance of the traditional family, gay stuff is against it, all this liberal people, they don't what the woke shit, all this stuff. So a lot of the stuff actually was closer to conservatism, believe it or not. With the major problem that there are a lot of incompatible aspects as well. A lot of incompatible aspects. Not only with Christianity for obvious reasons, but also with, the idea of the West and the principles of the West. Right? But it's funny because even though conservatism and in general Western ideologies and Muslim ideologies are already quite incompatible, but they are closer than liberalism and progressivism is to Muslim concepts of lives. They're even further, they freaking hate you. If you're a liberal, all the Muslims don't like the way you express your positions and your ideas. So this is a fabrication. I can't speak for every single Muslim, obviously, do I need to say that? Mudassar Ahmed, founder and president of the Concordia Forum. Oh, okay, now we got it, guys. Investigation is over. Detective Metatron figured it all out. Now we see where this is going. Who is the founder of the Concordia Forum, which is the basis of this survey? I wonder if they're biased, if the founder's is named Mudassar Ahmed. What did he say? Community cohesion is too important to be reduced to suspicions or headlines. The evidence shows that the overwhelming majority of British Muslims believe in democracy, equality under the law, and a shared future in Britain. They feel they belong here and interact daily with people from other backgrounds. You know, Mudassar Ahmed, the 15th, you know what you should do? If you want people to be less suspicious of you, how about you stop saying that you guys are more loyal to the UK than the people from the UK? Because this is not going to help. If anything, You are sowing division, but maybe you're doing it on purpose. Never mind cohesion. Never mind cohesion. What did he say about... Wait. I saw the word, guys. I swear I saw it. Did I dream it? There we go. I knew it. Reform's losing candidate Matt Goodwin said that Islamists and woke progressives came together to dominate the constituency. It is an alliance, I think, that it's happening. I mean, this is a fact, by the way. It is an alliance that is based on votes, but the Islamists hate the woke. That's the reality. They can't stand them. It's just for vote and power. So that's that. So if you're British, you're not loyal to your country as much as Mohammed. Sorry. Which is the most popular English boy name in the UK right now. Not English name, but in the UK, that's the most popular baby name. I think it should be George. Call me hateful all you want. But by the way, I think in Saudi Arabia it should be Mohammed. I don't want George to be the most common name in Saudi Arabia. Gee, call me crazy. I'm applying my standard equally. If you're enjoying this video so far, please take a moment to check out my Patreon page. With as little as a $5 support, you can help us ensure that we can continue to produce high quality and high researched content. And at the same time, you get access to polls, extra videos, unlisted streams, and much more. Thank you so much.